Good morning and welcome to our yoga practice. We have a few minutes before we get going, so we're just rolling out our mats, finding our space and settling in. As always, you can use this time however you need, maybe to get any extras you like to have to incorporate in your practice, a strap or a block. You could use gentle movement here to start to get into your practice, or you could just sit quietly and settling in, getting the mind centered. We probably have a minute or so before we get going, and we will begin on our backs today. We're just making our space, coming in, getting settled. A little more time as we start to head toward that starting spot on our back. We'll start to make our way there if we haven't already. Let the head and shoulders rest. And keep the legs bent, or you could send them long, whichever is feeling best for you today. Hands could rest on the belly to connect with the breath. Feet down alongside body, palms up. Find what feels best for you this morning. As you settle in, maybe soften the eyes or close them completely. Draw the awareness in. Feel the mat under the back, support of the earth. Let the body soften. Release tension in the jaw. Bring the awareness to the breath. You're breathing shallow. Try to deepen that breath slightly, allowing the lungs to fill and settle. Breathing in and out through the nose. Trying to match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. We'll try to maintain this nice balance in our breath throughout the practice. The legs are outstretched. Bring them in, setting the feet about hip-width distance from each other on the mat. You can leave the eyes closed or gently flutter them open as we draw the right knee in. As you pull the right knee toward the body, notice if the head and shoulders lift. If they do, gently settle them down. Keep the spine long. And gentle rotations with the right ankle and foot. You can mix up the directions, wiggle the toes. Notice how that ankle is feeling, that connection into the leg. We'll find stillness with the foot Give that knee a little squeeze, send that leg up. You can keep a little bend at the knee. Sole of the foot shines toward the sky. Then point the toes. Notice how the top of the foot feels. And again, that connection down into the leg. Building awareness in the body. A little point and flex. And then with control, we'll settle the right foot back on the mat. And then draw the left knee in. You can hold outside the shin or behind the thigh. Finding a little ease. Try not to struggle into this too much. It doesn't matter if the leg is super close to the body or a little farther away. We'll start those gentle circles with the left ankle. Again, move at your pace. Pausing where you need to, reversing where you need to, wiggling where you need to. We'll find stillness on the left side. Give the knee a little squeeze, send that heel up. Scan from hip to heel up the back of the leg. And then point the toes. The awareness draws down the front of the leg. Then point and flex. Find stillness as you bring the left foot back to the mat. We'll slide the left leg long. Let the right knee fall open. Our supine tree, the sole of the right foot connected to the extended left leg. Heart stays open. You could place the right hand on the right inner thigh, left hand on left hip. You could take the arms out to a cactus arms or T. Let the exhale help you release a little more. And then we'll take the right hand under the right leg, gently help it up. We'll lift that leg up to about 90. Left hand guides it over. We gently rotate into a twist. Hips stacked as best we can. We won't be here long, so we're still warming up. Unwind. Back to center. We'll slide the left foot in. Extend the right leg long. Left knee falls open. Use that sole of the foot to match the extended leg. And again, you have those options with the hands and the arms, finding what works for you today. So we take a few rounds of breath here. Allow the hip to open up. We'll take the left hand under the left thigh. Help that knee back up. Lift that leg to 90. Right hand guides it across. That gentle stack. You may have to shift the hips a little bit. We're trying to keep the heart relatively open to the sky, but again, still warming up. So the ribs might be tight. That's all right. Do your best. And unwind. Back to our neutral. We'll slide the right knee in and then hug both the knees to the chest. Taking a full body hug, you can lay here for a moment, or you could rock a little side to side. That might feel nice on the low back. If you're rocking, slow it down. Come back to stillness. We'll take right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee. Start to draw little circles, taking the knees out and away from one another and then gently back together. A little movement in the hips. Slow it down and reverse direction. And these circles can be as big or as little as you like. Again, keep the spine long here. We'll slow it down, come back to center. Peace fingers behind the knees. We'll rock along the length of the spine and use that momentum to bring us up to a nice seated posture. We'll extend both legs in front of us, about hip width distance between the feet. Sit bones are connected to the mat. We have a nice solid base. As we sit tall, we can place hands on thighs or down at our side, taking just a moment here. Maybe a little tuck of the chin as you let the crown of the head lift up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as you forward fold. Maybe hold feet, shins, the mat, coming into the shape. Try to avoid too much rounding in the back. We want to lead with the heart, keeping that long spine as best we can. If you're wondering what that rounding looks like, it'd kind of be if you were more doing this, taking that curve. Try to keep that length, lead with the heart here. You can keep a little micro bend at the knees if you need. We'll inhale up. We'll take the legs wide, whatever wide feels like for you today. Again, sit up tall. We'll walk the hands away as we fold at the hips, only going as far as your body wants. A little ease in the legs. Hands can stay centered on the mat. You could take peace fingers and hold the big toes. Sometimes that can be a nice reminder to keep that length. Hold on to ankles, lots of options. Gaze is at the mat. It doesn't have to be directly under you. It could be a little bit out. We'll inhale up. We'll tuck one foot in and then the other, setting. I'm going to go right shin in front of left shin, but you can take left shin in front of right shin to start. And again, we get that nice seated posture, long spine, and fold forward. Listen to that. If your right leg's in front, your right hip. If left leg is in front, your left hip. As you fold, stopping when it needs to, taking a breath there. Maybe the exhale can help you melt down a little bit more. Big stretch through the hip. We'll walk the hands in as we lift up and swap legs. So whichever shin was in front last time, it is now closer into the body. The shin is roughly parallel to the short edge of the mat. Sit tall. Keep that length as you fold down. Try not to lift the hips too much here. Breathe into it, each side a little different. So allow your awareness focus on the hip to tap into how it's feeling today. Soften the feet. Find a little heaviness in the legs, a little ease in the shoulders. Walk the hands in as we sit up. We'll find a comfy spot for the legs. That may be that they stay where they were. You could stack them, tuck them. That nice seated posture. We'll take the left hand down to the mat as we inhale the right up. Feel that length through side body. And then on an exhale, take it over. Inviting in a nice stretch through the right ribs. Notice if you start to tense up through the legs. If you do, use the exhale to soften. A lot of ease in that upper right arm. We'll inhale up. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Inhale up the left. Find that length. Keep it as you exhale over. Right arm is supporting us on the earth. The breath is being felt through the ribs. Heart stays open. Each exhale helping you melt a little deeper into the shape. We'll inhale up. Exhale the left hand down. We'll inhale up both arms. Exhale, heart center. Nice big inhale as we scoop the arms, reach it tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale as the arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here for one breath. Release the hands. We'll start with them down at our side. Inhale them up to shoulder height. Exhale as we bring the palms together in front of us. Interlace the fingers. Draw hands to heart. Flip with the hands so that the thumbs go down, palms are away from the body. Press them forward. Notice that little space you create between the shoulder blades. Inhale the arms up. You can keep a bend at the elbows here. The arms do not have to be straight. And then exhale as you bring them down. Do the breath. Inhale, shoulder height. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, palms to heart. Exhale, flip and press them away. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. Once more, inhale, shoulder height. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, palms to heart. Exhale, flip and press them away. Inhale as we lift. Exhale to release. Nice work. You can give the arms a little wiggle there, loosening them up. We'll leave the left leg where it is as we kind of unwrap ourselves. We'll tuck the right leg back. So the right shin is in line with the long edge of the mat. The left shin is in line with the short edge of the mat. And if having that right leg tucked and really in line with the edge of the mat isn't serving you, you can take it to like a 45-degree angle. We'll take the left hand around behind us. Tinting the fingers, right arm comes out. We're going to swoop it up as we lift the hips, little arch in the back, opening through the heart space. And lower down. Take a breath. Inhale to lift. On an exhale, release. We lower down. We'll swap the legs. So right shin parallel to the short edge. You can have the left shin to the long edge or take it out to that 45, whatever feels best for your legs and your stability. Right hand's going to come around behind, that nice tinted finger. Keep the spine long as left hand comes out. Swoops up and back as we lift the hip. And lower down. Take a breath. Make any little adjustments you need to. The left hand comes out. And we lift. And lower it down. Nice work. We'll tuck that leg in, rotate ourselves over as we come into a tabletop and transition down onto our bellies. We'll bring chin to the mat, hands under the shoulders, tops of the feet are in the mat. There's some nice space between the legs here. We'll inhale up, baby cobra. Exhale as you release. Inhale up, chin and collarbone, baby cobra. Press the hips down. Exhale as you release. We're heading to Sphinx pose. So on your next inhale as you lift up, elbows under shoulders, forearms parallel, palms in the mat. Lengthen the spine as we gaze forward. Our Sphinx pose. Notice if you start to collapse into the shoulders. If you do, press into those elbows. Find that lift. Long spine. We'll press into the palms as we take the elbows wide. Favorite cheek finds the mat. Gentle stretch for the neck as you release the low back. Find a little ease in the glutes. And then swap sides. Opposite cheek meets the mat. Shoulders relax. We'll bring the chin to the mat. Hands down alongside body, pinkies touching the thighs, creating a nice space between the chin, palms and the hips as we inhale up the right toes. Your lift only has to be as high as your body wants it to be today. Exhale as you release. Right toes touch. We'll inhale up the left. Keep that base through the chin, the palms, and the hips. Lower the left leg down. Once more each side, we'll inhale up the right. Exhale as you release. Right toes touch, we inhale up the left. Exhale to release. Take a breath as you relax the body. We'll bring hands under shoulders as we press back, hips to heels, child's pose. Toes near one another, knees can be near one another or wide to the edges of the mat. The belly melts down on them or between the thighs. Hips settling toward the heels. Great counter posture for all of that back work from our lift, our cobras, our leg lifts. We'll walk the hands toward the knees as we lift up. We'll rise to a kneeling posture for just a second as we curl the toes and then sit the hips back. Big stretch for the feet and the ankles. This posture could be really challenging for a lot of folks, so only stay in it as long as you want. We'll be here for one more breath. Nice work. We'll inhale up. We'll uncurl the toes. Swing the legs around. Sending them back out in front of us. We inhale the arms up. Exhale back to our Paschimottanasana, our seated forward fold. Revisiting this shape to notice how we've moved through our practice, the space we've created, how this shape may feel a little different than it did earlier in the practice. Maybe you can dive a little deeper. Maybe you can reach a little farther. Maybe the legs feel a little more open. Be nice to check in with shapes like that. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like we're doing much, but it all adds up. All the little movement helps. Inhale up. We'll tuck the legs in, finding a comfortable seated position. If you have extra time today, you could lay down, take a nice shavasana, a few moments to center and quiet the mind. But we're going to round out our practice together now as we bring hands together at heart center to seal it in. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and those kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat next Tuesday morning. Bye.